Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the Vampire Diaries, Season 6, Episode 2, Yellow Ledbetter. I'm your host, Dom. With me are my co-hosts, Omikins.
Hi.
And Heather.
Hi.
How are you ladies tonight?
Good.
Good?
Alive.
With you for 10 seconds is your other co-host, Mike, delivering happy pancakes.
Is there a happy face on him? It's not happy unless there's a happy face.
No, but it's a big fucking pancake.
You're fired.
Told you it was a big...
Are you going to come make me pancakes now?
I will gladly make you pancakes. Except
Let's
it
go.
would take me how many hours to get there driving? I don't know, 20?
How am I supposed to fucking eat this thing?
With your mouth.
With a fork.
If
Yes.
you don't finish it, I will finish it.
Oh. So, we all discussed last week that we were gonna make pancakes.
Oh, God.
So we'll start with Omi. Omi, how did your pancake making experience go?
I didn't make shit, but I'm gonna eat it.
Heather, how did your pancake making experience
I don't want to talk
go?
about it.
No. We gotta talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
No. We're talking about it.
Well, I thought I had pancake mix, and I didn't have pancake mix, so I decided I'd be awesome and make pancake mix, and it turned into a giant glob of what looked like a mix between boogers and throw up, so my pancake is this.
You drew a pancake?
I didn't draw it. My 7-year-old drew it, and it looks like a fuzzy boob.
I, on the other hand, just got through making pancakes myself successfully. Well, if you want to call them pancakes. They are not exactly circular. You can take this one, for example, which is not round in the slightest. It is folded like a pita. I don't know. I don't even know. But, yes,
Well, you know
they're
what?
pancakes.
At least it's not ginormous.
Mm.
Mm.
The inside of that one tastes a lot like batter.
It wasn't cooked all the way?
Probably not, because it made it the full size of the pan, and then when I tried to flip it, it didn't really flip properly.
Oh, this is why I wanted Rogers.
So, anyway, what did you guys think of the episode tonight? Or last night?
There was more pancakes.
There's a lot more pancakes. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for the pancakes.
So many pancakes.
It was better than last week's. In my opinion, anyways.
I thought so, too. I thought it was much better than last week.
I always enjoy some neck breaking.
It was. I actually really liked it. Like,
Mm.
I was really questioning going through with watching the show because I always have been very. I will never get into this. I will never get into this. I will not follow this bandwagon. And I watched this one. I was like, this one actually wasn't that bad.
Kind of. It's one of those shows that draws you in and it gets better as it goes.
Yeah.
So, first episode was I don't even know. It wasn't like action-packed. It wasn't exciting. It was just like reestablishing characters.
Yeah.
That's really all it was.
Reestablishing that Elena's a whiny little wench.
So, as we stated last week, we found out exactly where Damon and Bonnie were. They are caught in a frozen still capture of Mystic Falls, May 10th, 1944. So, that further goes
44.
to 1994, sorry. Oops.
Yeah, I was like, what?
1994. So that further goes back to the title of all the episodes and whatnot. And they're all kind of 90s hit songs. So that's another thing that we missed. The first two, which were B-side tracks, which that we thought was the hint, but it definitely wasn't. So they're not in an alternate universe. They are in Mystic Falls, 1994. without other people in it, or so we think. And they just keep reliving the same day over and over again, kind of like Groundhog's Day. Groundhog Day. Good movie. But what are your guys' theories on what this place actually is, like how they got there?
Well, Bonnie did say that her grandma said something to her before she was taken, and then Damon and her grabbed hands, and then they went to the place probably that her gram sent her to. Together, even though it was just meant for her.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere that was meant for Bonnie and Bonnie alone, for Bonnie to learn something that needed to be learned to solve the big problem going on with their town, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, the book is there. There are things of her past there from her house. You know, it's a very specific day and a very specific time.
Cuddles the bear.
Yeah. You know, it's a very specific day. It's a very specific time. And it's the same day over and over and over. So there's obviously something about that day that Bonnie is supposed to figure out.
Yeah. I mean, the most notable event is the eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So we know from the past episodes,
Eclipses are big.
Big events, such as comets, solar eclipses, those kind of thing, draw a lot of power and can do something to use for spells. They amplify spells and stuff like that. So that comet or the eclipse is definitely going to play a large role in this. And I do agree with Heather. I think this is going to be the key to solving the puzzle with the town, with the anti-magic bubble.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what exactly is the significance of Cuddles the bear? Because
she was a kid.
Nothing in this show is thrown around for no reason. They don't mention things lightly. Like, everything has a purpose.
She did say that she lost it at one point, and that she didn't know where it went. Mm-hmm. So now it's there before she lost it.
You know, maybe it has, maybe it's a trigger item for a memory that she's forgotten. Maybe it has some kind of significance. Like maybe, you know, there's something about the bear itself. Maybe that's what first started her, because obviously, as she's found out in the beginning of the episode, she has no power here at all. She cannot. You know, it's basically relearn everything. Mm-hmm. So maybe this bear, she has some suppressed memory, because, I mean, I don't remember things from 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't remember what my stuffed animal looked like, or, you know, I don't remember that kind of shit. So it goes back to the point of maybe there's something with that bear, maybe where she got it from, who she got it from, maybe something about it.
I mean,
maybe there's something inside of it.
And I have an amazing theory on this bear, but I'm going to save it for the end.
Ooh.
I always do that. And everybody always hates me for it. But yeah. Anyway, what'd you guys think of Damon dancing, making pancakes to What a Man?
I expected something like that from him.
Did you?
To be honest, it wasn't a surprise.
I'm kind of digging this whole, like, Damon is very, I don't give a fuck, whatever, this is a vacation.
You saw what happened when Bonnie walked in. He, like, pretended he wasn't dancing anymore.
Right, you know, he's having a good old time, and Bonnie's like, what the fuck are you doing? We need to be working, you know, and that was a great part of tonight, was that we finally saw the whole I hate you too relationship between the two of them.
That was, like, the very beginning, after because throughout the Vampire Diaries, they have not liked each other at all.
Yeah.
So this is when they first got to this place. So, you know, we saw at the end of last episode that, you know, they were kind of chummy, but they kind of weren't. That's just from the 4-month buildup of being together every day.
Right. This capture, this still that they're in, do you think this extends past Mystic Falls, or is it localized to the town?
I think it's localized to the town.
Localized to Bonnie.
Maybe.
So you don't think Damon could just, like, go running off to Germany or something?
Nope.
I think if he tried, he'd get sucked right back to where he is.
Oh yeah, it'd be like, you know,
a loop.
It would be like a loop. It'd be like
Or are they living under the dome?
Can't remember what show I just watched, but every time they walked through a door, they ended up at another door, and
Right. It's going to be exactly like that.
Silent Hills?
Silent Hills. Oh, I hated that fucking.
you know,
I
well,
hated that so much.
it's kind of like that, except it's not creepy shit.
Right. So, alright, then outside of that, as you guys mentioned, we saw, or I think there was it the beginning of the show or pre-show? I can't remember. We were discussing Enzo briefly?
Yeah, that was pre-show.
Pre-show. Yeah, so I was pretty surprised to find out that Enzo was the only one other than Caroline that was still looking for solutions.
Right.
Enzo loves Damon.
I mean, Alaric has been helping, but he's been doing his own thing. He's been giving Stefan leads. He had no clue that Stefan wasn't following up on them, right?
I want to smack you so much.
Elena's dealing with their own issues with Damon and all that. And, Matt and Jared just kind of lounging out in town. Like, nobody's really doing anything. It's just Enzo. Stefan's like, whatever. So, Enzo actually brings Caroline to see Stefan face to face.
Mm-hmm.
What were you guys thinking when this was all going down?
She was gonna blow a gasket.
Yeah. I thought she was going to lose her fucking shit. Kind of.
She kind of did.
My favorite scene on that entire thing, and this is kind of skipping ahead, so I won't say a lot, is when Enzo got in the car and looked at her, and they got right back out.
Yeah, I mean, they get in this whole argument at the table. Enzo stabs Stefan's hand and, exposes...
We don't need to overreact. Caroline, calm down. We don't need to overreact tonight. Picks up, stabs. I thought we were overreacting.
Yeah, it was great. So, and then, Caroline quickly rushes Ivy upstairs and compels her and settles her down and all that stuff. And Damon and Stefan and Enzo kind of hash it out, whatever, and ends with Stefan, snapping Enzo's neck and telling them to get out. And, yeah, then Caroline gets in the car, Enzo comes in, and he sees she's upset, she's crying, and Enzo's not having that. He goes right back in and kills Ivy.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I think we learned from Enzo that he really cares about women and their emotions and their feelings, just from the little tidbits we got from him last season. And that he really does care, even though he's kind of like a badass and very, on the outside.
Yeah. I just think I love the dynamic between Caroline and Enzo.
Yeah.
It's great. I loved it last season. I love it this season. It's getting better and better.
It's going to be one of those couples you don't expect that actually get together at one point.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of like the way Elena and Damon were in the very beginning.
But by us saying that they're going to get together and not expect it, we are expecting it. So.
I didn't say I didn't. I said you're not going to.
I'm not going to? I'm totally expecting it. The people that are not watching our podcast right now don't expect it.
There you go.
Yeah.
But has enough time really passed that Stefan should just give up on them? He technically gave up 2 months ago. So he gave up, it was 2 months of this, and then he gave up, moved into that house, and just kind of called it quits.
Stefan is mourning just like Elena is. He's dealing with it the way he's learned to deal with things his whole immortal life. And that's to push it away and move on. He doesn't want to... Losing his brother is way worse than losing Elena. So... That's just his way of getting the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah,
So
this is his way of coping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Heather, do you think that this is going to jumpstart Stefan's motivation now? Is Enzo coming in and busting things up and,
No, I think it's just going to piss him the fuck off more.
No! Enzo said that he is going to be a point of freaking destruction for the rest of his life if he doesn't, buck up and be a man.
I guess Stefan would do it and just loathe Enzo the entire time. I could see a lot of animosity growing between the two of them.
That's exactly what happened between Damon and him in the very beginning of the series. Damon's like, I'm here to torture you. And eventually they, got through it, and they both became and grew together.
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't think Enzo's going to be much like his brother when it comes to destroying every aspect of Stefan's life.
I think Enzo's going to be worse.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had Elena. She decided to go through with the compulsion with Alaric. And as I kind of guessed last week, it was kind of like this process. It wasn't just like this little, boom, it's wiped out. They really had to go back and systematically figure out where this trigger was. And they tried everything. They erased the first time they met. They erased their first kiss, the sire bond, their first dance. But what it ended up coming down to, it was the moment in which Damon returns Stefan's necklace to her. Why was this memory so powerful?
Who knows? It's Elena.
Yeah.
Her fragile mind doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's the drugs.
It's the drugs.
The drugs.
Well, she said that this was the first time that Damon had like a selfless act, that he knew as much as he felt for Elena, that this was, she knew that that necklace meant a lot to her and Stefan, so he returned it. And that's when the first time she knew she loved him. And it's weird.
She's so back-ass crooked in her own mind that figuring out what the fuck is going on with her is almost impossible at the time.
She was like repressing the memory or the fact that she loved both of them at the same time. And she mentioned that even her evil doppelganger, Katherine, had the right idea. She knew you could love both of them.
She said, how could I be more stupid than my doppelganger, my evil doppelganger? And I sat back and was like, you realize Katherine is hundreds of years older than you and has had thousands of more experiences than you. Shut your stupid fucking teenage mouth, because you're stupid. I hate you. I was so mad. Oh, and this pancake is becoming impossible to eat.
Pancake is delicious, mine anyway. Yeah, but she thought she was better than Katherine. She thought, are you eating your pancake now? Tastes like paper. But
I'm gonna fold it in half, just like yours.
Elena always thought that she was better than Katherine. Like, she had her feelings in check and like all this, and she's learning that she's actually a lot more like Katherine than she thought she was. But
see, Katherine had her emotions in check and everything. She was just an evil bitch.
yeah,
It's Katherine was fine.
it's true.
She just dealt with things differently.
But there was also like a little hint of like, Caroline goes, "What happens if Damon comes back?" And Elena was like, "Well, then I'll just have Alaric restore all my memories."
He's probably not going to be able to.
So, what ramifications of this do you think there's going to be if, well, I shouldn't say if, when Damon does return?
He's going to come back expecting hugs and kisses, and she's going to be like, get the fuck away from me, you evil bastard.
Yeah,
It's gonna be bad.
it is. It's going to be awful. He's going to be devastated. Devastated.
Yep.
Do you think this opens the door for Elena and Stefan to get back together?
I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care.
I don't...
Just make it more exciting than last season, and I will watch.
Like,
There you go.
obviously, you saw how he was when she was going through the talk about Damon and the necklace and how he brought her the necklace and everything. You kept flashing over to Damon now, and he's leaning against doors, and you can obviously tell he misses the hell out of her.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, he's thinking about her. He's going through motions that he'd done in the past with her. It's obviously going to be a huge slap in the fucking face when he comes back.
Yep. It's not going to be pretty.
No.
Not going to be pretty. The other person who's also not taking things well is Jeremy. We find out this episode he has not, in fact, been shutting things down, shutting everything out. He's been paying Bonnie's cell phone bill this whole time. And he's been leaving her voicemails nonstop, what seems to be every day, yelling at her and bitching her out. And rightfully so. He's mad that she said she was going to die over the telephone. Like, that was kind of a dick move. But the big question here is, how is her voicemail box not full yet?
I don't know. I know my voicemail at home has like 25 messages on it already.
He doesn't leave her one every night.
Well, he left one, and then he says, well, I'm going to call you tomorrow and bitch at you again. So
I guess I'll call you tomorrow and bitch some more.
Yeah, it's just leading me to believe that this is a regular thing with him.
4 months of, that voicemail box would be freaking full.
Yeah.
Unless he's like calling and getting into it and deleting messages as he go. I don't know.
Or unless they're auto-deleting after 30 days. I think some of them do that. I don't know.
That's probably it.
No idea.
All I know is that, knowing that he's being a little dick and then going through this at the same time, it's like, okay, he's still a human. He's not a complete jerkwad.
Yeah. He's just devastated, and he's dealing with it in his own way.
And you want to know how he's dealing with it?
He's getting busy every night.
He's getting busy with Sarah.
With the girl that got attacked by Elena.
Yeah, her name's Sarah. And we find out in this episode that she's got a father in town, which explains why she came here. Says. Yeah, why she came here in the first place. If she has a father in town, though, who could her father be?
What's his face that was driving the crazy vampire van?
Trip.
Fell? That was the best.
I almost just called him Tiny.
Oh.
Tiny Trip Fell?
So you guys are both in agreement that it's Trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the way he's like nonchalant, look into that. He's like, he already knows. And that's why probably he was so concerned in the very beginning when she got attacked. He was like, okay, I need to find out where this vampire is so I can burn her.
Well, I have a completely different theory.
Oh?
And it all goes back to Cuddles the bear.
Is Cuddles the bear
her
daddy?
What if Bonnie is her sister or her stepsister? And that bear went missing when the girl left town. Because she took it.
Maybe. I mean, they do look kind of alike.
Bonnie and the girl's father could be Bonnie's dead father that she just doesn't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki's brain is hurting.
See how it doesn't work for me.
So it could be your half sister. It could be a sister that or a full sister that she had that she was maybe compelled to forget by a vampire. It could have been something. But we do know that her Grams was very apprehensive of vampires in the very beginning, so I'm going to kind of rule that out. And I'm thinking maybe some kind of witch magic was done that when this event happened, she had froze Mystic Falls back in the what was it, 94? Froze Mystic Falls back in 94. And had the girl leave, brought it, stay with somebody else, whatever the case may be. Packed up its things, the bear got taken with it, and unfroze time or whatever, and then that's where she ended up putting Bonnie. I don't know, it's a wild theory, it's something out there, but I have a feeling that it's all connected. That bear was not brought up for no reason, and it just so happens the bear and this girl's father are being brought up in like the same episode, and I love to take two random things that they do like that and connect them. So, I mean, I really do think she's related to Bonnie in some way, shape, or form. I'm willing to bet anything on that.
And I mean, it would be just kind of a little too coincidental, though, that she's messing around with Jeremy, of all people.
Mm.
Well, she does seem kind of like, I don't know, her attitude, her attitude's just ridiculous. I was like, I want to, like, kick her in the face with stilettos.
Yeah. Me too.
Stilettos and all?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Is
strap
that how
on those stilettos.
Never mind. I'm
But
not
yeah,
gonna
Is that how come you're so tall?
I 100% think that. I don't know the details of the time freeze. That's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm trying to somehow piece it together. But I definitely think that they're related in some way, shape, or form. But then anyway, we find out Trip is actually one of the founding family members. He's a Fel, and he brings a bunch of vampires back into town, knowing that the barrier. He's not aloof to the fact that the barrier's down. He drives in full knowing this barrier's down and pops open the sunroof on the van, which is ridiculous. But just giant sunroof opens up in the van, and he just fries all these vampires. So we finally have our big bad for the season right now.
He's not the big bad.
He's not the big bad? How's he not the big bad?
It's not. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
He's not a big bad. He is a simple human, and he's not big and bad. I mean, if he had a little like Augustine in the background, going on, then he might have something to worry about.
We don't know anything about him other than he's a former Fel or founding family member.
He's a distraction.
We really don't know anything about him. But
he's a distraction.
But as it stands right now, speaking of distractions, Aunt Jemima.
I just see her flailing up in the corner.
Yeah, Aunt Jemima just popped in. He seems like this is like the first time we've had a just regular plain old human villain, other than the Augustine dude, which was kind of a mad scientist, and he was using vampire DNA and things like that. So I don't really consider him human, even though he was. He's more mad scientist to me. But this is the first like human, like just straight up using his human abilities and powers and brain power to like go through and systematically take out these vampires. He's not a hunter from what we know of. It's gonna be interesting.
I don't think he's gonna last that long.
I didn't say he's going to last that long, but he's the current villain. He's all we have to deal with. Until the barrier comes back, or comes down, he's going to be the one in charge around there.
He's not even a villain. He's the current antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
When they bring down that wall, and they get Damon and Bonnie back, whatever's with them, because we know they're not alone, is coming with them, and that's going to be your big bad.
Yeah, because Bonnie had spent the last 4 months trying to work on this crossword puzzle. And the fact that she's even still filling it in every day at this point is beyond me, because I would have gave up on that months ago. But all of a sudden, the answer is finally solved, which is the title of the episode, Yellow Ledbetter, which is a...
Bedwetter?
Bedwetter?
Yeah.
What?
Wait, song, the name of that song is so strange.
Ledbetter. Yeah, so it was like... I don't remember what the actual puzzle was. But somebody else is there. Do you think it's just one person? Do you think there's multiple people there? Do you think everybody from the other side that saw the light is there? Like...
Oh, God, I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, because it's not like they've seen anybody.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the people or the thing that's there might just be like coming in and out of, might be able to transverse whatever this plane is.
Maybe Grandma's trying to help from the other side by giving clues.
Could be Grams. I mean, if Grams is the one that put Bonnie there, it wouldn't be a far-fetched that she has some kind of hold over that place in some way, shape, or form. Maybe she can't physically manifest herself, but
right.
That would explain why they couldn't see anything. And you would think if there was physically someone there, Damon still being a vampire, which he notes that he still has his fangs and everything, you would think his supernatural hearing would have heard that over Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
So...
he was too busy making pancakes. That shit rocks.
Dancing. He don't care.
Those pancakes, he burnt a lot of them. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, he's learning how to cook them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe it's that girl. I don't know her name.
Katherine?
No. The girl that's messing around with Jeremy.
Sarah.
Could be.
I mean, maybe... she came right along the same time that everybody went into the thing. Okay?
Can we just Stop for a second.
Into the thing.
She came at the same time that they went into the thing. I don't need any more than that.
Well, we're going to go back onto that she's related to Bonnie. If she's related to Bonnie, she's a witch.
Mm-hmm.
She might be the only witch in existence that can converse with the other side, with the spirits.
There you go. Thank you.
If it's some kind of blood magic kind of thing, we know that blood magic has, like, to an extent, is what is able to unwrap, like, what was it, the
Hatch
seal?
dragons?
Huh? What'd you say?
Blood magic can hatch dragons.
Sure. I don't.
All you need is a little fire.
I don't get the reference.
Exactly. Heather gets it.
I don't get the reference. What is it? How to Train Your Dragon or something?
No.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
Daenerys.
No, but we know, like, from
Skip
the
the fire.
first season, right? We had the crypt, and the crypt was sealed, and Bonnie and her mother, and they, like, it was tied to Bennett witch magic, right? The spell was a family kind of bond. So if this place was frozen in time and captured by Grams, and Bonnie has her powers missing right now, if her sister or half-sister or whatever
What's
it is,
her name?
Sarah,
Sarah?
yeah, if she comes in and she's a witch, obviously she can't use her powers in the town.
Obviously.
So she's got to be sneaking off to the border every so often to use them, if that's the case. So, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else noteworthy this week to discuss? Besides pancakes?
I could sure use some of Damon's scotch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that good.
Does that go good with pancakes?
I'm sure it does. He made it look like
I'm
it
pretty
did.
sure scotch goes good with everything.
Yeah. Indeed. So next week, the episode is Welcome to Paradise. That'd be a Green Day song. Yes. Anyway, trouble at the swimming hole. In an attempt to bring some fun back to their lives, Elena persuades Caroline to meet her at the swimming hole, where she plans to introduce her to Liam.
Who?
I don't know.
Somebody named Liam.
Elena met someone named Liam. Maybe off in her party that she's having with
Yeah.
Tyler right now. So, Tyler's still working on controlling his anger issues, asks Liv for a favor, and is surprised when she makes an unexpected confession. Stefan arrives back in Mystic Falls, looking for Enzo. I don't think he's exactly in Mystic Falls. I think he's on the border.
He's off.
Looking for Enzo, and is caught off guard when he notices a strange change in Elena. So Stefan is going to be very aware of the ramifications of what happened with erasing Damon, right? Meanwhile, at the lake, Enzo's actions cause Matt to make a startling revelation, and Jeremy makes a discovery about the anti-magic spell that could potentially put Elena's life in danger.
Ooh.
She gonna die?
Hopefully.
I was just gonna say, I hope so.
No, but wait, maybe like the anchor, that spell is bound to someone. And it could be bound to the last remaining doppelgangers, which was Stefan and Elena. It's possible.
Maybe.
Possible. And finally, elsewhere, Damon and Bonnie stumble upon clues that lead them to believe they're not alone. So that's basically not telling us anything than what we already found out at the end of this episode. But at least we know we'll be seeing more of them and stumble upon clues. So I'm under the impression that we'll probably get as much time with them as we did this last episode. So, yeah. You guys excited for next week?
It really is building up. I mean,
It is.
to me, I'd like to see a lot more of Enzo because he seems to be the most interesting character right now. Actually, Matt too. I was actually thinking about it earlier. The characters that have been in this series the longest and have gotten the most development have kind of hit a plateau. And they can't really go any further with it until they get past this whole magic bubble. But the characters that they just introduced or hasn't had as much character development are the most interesting ones right now. We want to see those ones grow. And I think that's why they made the change with Matt, and they actually brought Enzo back.
Yeah. Enzo's a great character. Matt, I still think, is extremely weak. There's just some moments with him that it's just like, he goes, do you really think you should be making this or doing this at this point? And he's like, I mean, at this point in your life, should you be drinking, Jeremy? It's just like, really, Matt? Like, that just doesn't even sound like something anybody would realistically say.
Actually, people say that all the time to people who are doing bad things, and they shouldn't be when they're young.
Maybe I can understand saying it to them, but not the way he worded it is what I mean by that.
Well, you know that you kind of look at Matt and you kind of understand that he's not exactly the most intelligent, but he knows well enough to tell Jeremy to stop what the hell he's doing. Because
it sounded like something your grandfather would say to you if he caught you drinking a beer at the age of 14.
Matt kind of went through the same thing. I mean, his mom's always been, aloof and gone. And then he lost his sister, Vicky, and he's lost Bonnie. He's lost a whole bunch of those people, multiple stuff. Jeremy, they lost how many times?
Yeah.
2?
Lost a Lark a few times.
And so he knows
Elena.
what it's like. He knows what it's like to lose somebody. I mean, he was pretty close with Rebecca as well, but she had to go.
Yeah, but don't forget, his life was saved over Elena's, and he's basically the reason why she's a vampire right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's feeling a lot of guilt, too, so...
He's taking it a lot better than most of the characters, though.
I think he has to. He has to be strong for everyone else that's fallen down right now.
Yeah. Everybody needs that rock, and there's not many of them left right now.
Nope.
Nope. Anyway, that about wraps things up for us this week. I was really, really bad and didn't prepare anybody's lower thirds, because I'm awful. I'm the worst person in the existence of the world. So I'm going to throw those in right now. Omikins, where can the people find you?
Pancake burps, okay. At Twitter.
You can find her at Pancakes Burps on Twitter.
On Twitter.
On Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom 24. Oh.
You can do it.
No, I really can't. I really can't.
You can't do the pancake burp? Pancake burp?
That's all I ate.
Give him the mic.
I mean,
I already told him.
I finished my plate. My plate's empty.
Yeah,
Heather, where can the people find you and your pancake making skills?
My non-pancake making skills.
Yeah.
Olaris Rhea on Twitter. OLARIS_RHDA.
Yeah. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You could find all of us and more on Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, G+, and right here on YouTube /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts or some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week, see you guys later.
Oi.
I'm gonna Skype him and tell him to come get pancakes.
You gonna Skype Mike and tell him to get pancakes?
Mm-hmm.
Mike loves pancakes.